What is up, YouTube? What is up, fellow fantasy people? And as always, what is up, the Catch fam? You already know time this man. We are rolling right into another mock draft. Up this one requested by our subscriber, Champagne Matt. Want to see a 12-team full PPR Superflex format with 12 teams. So we already did one of these, but I'm rolling into another one because that last one went pretty quickly, and I wasn't necessarily not happy with my roster, but I wanted to see if we could do the same exact settings and get a pretty, a little bit of a better roster overall. So as always, if you guys find this enjoyable, entertaining, or helpful, please go ahead and smash that like button. And guys, subscribe to the channel, man. I mean, we have like over 90% of our viewers not subscribed, and a lot of you guys are coming back and watching videos. It really helps us out if you guys go ahead and subscribe, so at least consider it. And let's get going, man. Let's start this mock draft. So we have got, I actually changed up the settings just a little bit. That's right, I've got the 4th overall selection, so should still give us a pretty good view. So let's see, Alvin Kamara sitting there with that 4th selection. I'm taking him all freaking day, man. Whether you're going RB heavy, light RB, if Kamara's sitting there, I mean, you gotta take him, right? RB1 on average last year in most fantasy leagues. So in these kind of super flex formats, you're going to see quarterbacks going very early. But as we're sitting here with the 2nd selection, a lot of good talent at the running back position here, man. Antonio Gibson sitting there. The Calvin Ridley looks really sneaky, really good selection here as well. But we've got some pretty good receivers who should last here, and I just don't think I can pass up Antonio Gibson as a really good overall value. And now that our selection is coming back on us, David Montgomery sitting here, and I mean, there's some really good receivers here: McLaurin, Allen Robinson, Keenan Allen. But you guys know me, man. I'm going RB heavy already. I mean, could you really pass up this trio of Alvin Kamara, Antonio Gibson, and David Montgomery? I don't think so, man. That's absolute firepower. But we do want to consider a receiver with this next selection. We also want to consider a quarterback. So let's see who's available. Some pretty good receivers here. We know we're going to turn around and get another selection here, so it's kind of a gamble. Do we want to see a stronger quarterback, or do we want to make sure we get one of these receivers? I think there's going to be way more depth at the receiver position, so let's go out and once again let's select Dak Prescott, who I talked about in the last mock draft I did in the Superflex format. And then really right here we could consider taking another quarterback. I mean, Superflex leagues, you want some strong quarterbacks, but hey, let's go out and let's shore up a number 1 receiver. Robert Woods versus Tyler Locket. Not necessarily number 1 receivers, kind of both receivers who have another very strong receiver on their roster in Cooper Kupp and DK Metcalf. But nonetheless, from a PPR standpoint, I think Robert Woods is a great selection here to be the first receiver on this team, especially with how much firepower we have at the running back position. But let's go ahead and monitor those quarterbacks as things are going to get light very quickly, and I think we can go ahead and pass and wait for this next selection and kind of target a guy like Matt Stafford or Ryan Tannehill. But let's go ahead and see who's available at the running back position. A couple of names that I like, but really the receiver position is what we want to go out and shore up. So let's go ahead and select our guy Jerry Jeudy. That helps give us some depth at the receiver position. We're feeling very confident at the running back position, and now I do think we're going to see some good depth at the receiver position in some later rounds. So part of me wants to go out. I mean, Tom Brady's sitting here, Matt Stafford sitting here. Let's just do it. Let's pull the trigger. Let's add Tom Brady to this roster in a super flex scenario. I mean, you kind of have 2 options, right? You can go out and you can get 2 guys you're confident in a little bit earlier on, or you can go out and just get 1 guy that you're confident in and then wait for a later round to go out and get a sleeper type of guy at the quarterback position. So now that we're sitting here, let's see who we've got here. I mean, Kenyon Drake would not be a bad selection at this point. Let's see who's available at the receiver position as well as the tight end position, which we haven't shored up. Let's go out and let's get Mike Gesicki as our tight end 1. And then with this next selection, we're going to be eyeing Antonio Brown. But Kenyon Drake's still sitting here, and I think that we need that depth at the running back position. So let's go ahead and let's select Kenyon Drake. And then at the turnaround here, Robert Tonyan sitting here. would be a really good value for this roster. Antonio Brown is no longer sitting there, so we will not be selecting AB, but Mike Williams looking like a pretty good selection here, as well as that of Corey Davis, considering now that Robert Tonyan is off the board. So let's just go ahead, let's pick up Mike Williams, and let's see if Corey Davis falls to us at the turnaround. Tyler Higbee is still available there, and Corey Davis is still available, so let's pick him up. Add some really good depth to the receiver position. I mean, those are really, outside of Antonio Brown, Mike Williams and Corey Davis are the two later round guys I want at the receiver position overall. So at this point, we would love to add another running back to the squad. JD McKissic looking like the best option. Let's go ahead and check the receivers. I think we're pretty well off at the receiver position. We would have liked to get a guy, a second tight end to add to this team, but nonetheless, we'll survive, right? So another option here would be to go out and get another quarterback to add to this team, because regardless, you're going to have two quarterbacks playing week in and week out, and it never hurts to get that depth. So a lot of good options here. I mean, Curtis Samuel is still sitting here. He kind of looks like the best value overall. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and add another receiver to this roster, and that of Curtis Samuel. And I am clicking on things I'm not meaning to click on. And I mean, we have one more selection. So a lot of good depth at the receiver position. We feel pretty confident. I mean, we've got Alvin Kamara, Antonio Gibson, David Montgomery, and Kenyon Drake, but we still want to go out and get just one more running back to add some depth. So it's really between Jamal Williams and JD McKissic for me, but let's go ahead and let's pick up JD McKissic, and then we've got kind of that entire handcuff situation of the Washington football team. So it may have been a better idea to kind of diversify and get a guy like Jamal Williams, but nonetheless, we feel pretty good. We got a lot of Washington football team players on this team, but I think they're going to perform pretty well overall. So we feel pretty happy with this roster, right? Let's go ahead and let's select a defense. Let's just get the Miami Dolphins, and then we'll get a kicker at the turnaround. May have been a better idea just to go ahead and take Blankenship. He's probably going to have a great year, but still some pretty good kickers here, right? I mean, it's really your pick. Let's just get Daniel Carlson. And that's going to tap off this roster. So we've got Dak Prescott once again with the combination of Tom Brady at the quarterback position. So in these Superflex leagues, you just cannot underestimate the value of the quarterback position. Outside of that, we've also got at the running back position, that is Alvin Kamara, Antonio Gibson, and David Montgomery, feeling very, very confident with just those three running backs. But to help with some depth, we have some handcuff situations in that of Kenyon Drake as well as JD McKissic. So I feel great about the running backs on this roster. Receiver position, I mean, we went pretty thin, right? We didn't really go out and get an absolute stud, but nonetheless, we do have Robert Woods as well as Jerry Jeudy. And then to add some great depth, I mean, we've got Mike Williams and Corey Davis and Curtis Samuel. So I feel great at the receiver position. Only one tight end on this roster, and that of Mike Gesicki, but nonetheless, I feel very happy. You guys know how confident I am in that of Mike Gesicki, so no worries for myself. And at the kicker position, we have Daniel Carlson, followed by the Miami Dolphins for our defense. So I feel very, very confident in this roster. I really like doing these mock drafts through the sleeper format. We may be doing a lot more of these, but hopefully I can get find a way to have some more active drafts, not just be drafting in the draft room. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys want to do any mock drafts with my co-host and myself. We would love to get that going here at the Catch. And as always, I kindly ask that you guys go ahead and smash that like button if you did find this video enjoyable and or helpful in any way. And like I said, man, over 90% of reviewers are not subscribed. Go ahead and sub, baby. You know what time it is, man. It's time for the Catch in your life, baby. So go ahead and consider subscribing as well. I do kindly ask that. And as always, I thank you very much one more time for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch.